I really don't fucking give a fuck. I've been going live on Instagram. Why can't I, like, stream live on Instagram while I'm live on here, or advertise that I'm live on here? Joe Rogan is on. So, Joe, can I go on your show?
There's no escaping them. They're multiplying.
I don't want to go on your show. No, you're gonna have John on your show. John. Should just spend my time harassing you. And I flip off all your origami swans. Yeah, I know the origami things are queens. However, when are you looking at swan? I'm live on YouTube. There was just no other way to indicate that I was on YouTube and Instagram other than going live on Instagram and being like, I'm live on YouTube right now. I don't know. I just thought it might make a difference, right? So if you want to watch me live, then go on YouTube. It's my thing on YouTube. I don't know. It's the same as this. Life the lie. If you can't find it, it's your problem. I really don't give a fuck. Because if the government people are following me and watching me on my thing, I am only speaking to you anyway. Share is real. I can't post this video. Video must be 1 minute long. How long was it? 1 minute? Just here for 1 fucking minute doing this? Fucking pain in the ass. So I'm live on YouTube on Life the Lie. Same as I am on here. I'm not going to be live on both. I just wanted to be like, I'm live on YouTube right now. But I have to be on here for a whole minute in order to post it as a reel. Let's keep track of the time. No, really, no. I don't know how long I need to do for a fucking minute. That's ridiculous. I'm just going to put it down. I don't need to hold it there for a fucking minute. It's like my dad while he's driving on hands-free device, holding the phone in his hand. Can't drive, can't do anything, can't back up. He's trying to facilitate things. I was like, hold the fucking phone in your hand. I know it looks different on here than it does on the phone. That's because the phone camera sucks. I don't know. There's no filters on this at all. Right, on YouTube. Retouch is off. Now retouch is on. Has that been a minute? Uno momento. It fucking better be. Share is real. Oh, thank God. The children of the sweet music they make. Speaking of music, someone's in trouble. I'm tired of like making famous people be in trouble, but like Mr. Bug-eyed, weasel-faced, rat bastard, sellout. Sorry, Mike. He used to be my favorite. I'm just so fucking mad at him right now. Okay, so not only was my son with some broad named Jenny for his foster thing that he was with. Okay, hold on. I'm on YouTube now. Sure, you don't have time, right? No. It's got a whole year and a half of being a little dancing monkey all of a sudden again. Good for you. Yeah, I'm glad you're out of your depression, right? Why am I mad at him? People always say he was a fucking asshole, right? An asshole? Why would he be an asshole? No, he is. No, the night that I had an interaction with him, we were at, it was during Tomahawk Show. Melvin's was playing also, by the way. He's on tour again with them, first time in 13 years. I guess I just looked like a big fat baby doll or what? I had green dreads and just looked like a Raggedy Andy, Ann doll, but like, the green hair. How many years ago that was? That was 2003. What is it, 2026 now? 23 years ago. What year is it right now? It's really 20 years ago? You're only 10 years older than me, by the way. One, were you the Martin that was at the pee testing place? You're gonna drink my pee, right? You testing it. Somebody. There was a guy named Martin at the pee testing place. It looked just like him. His hair pulled back, although he didn't have the marks on his hands, but he had these other tattoos. I had seen him in there prior to that multiple times, but like hiding in the corner. Like the first time that I was in there, that I had to tell them the year that I was born, which is 78. He fell off the fucking stool. Oh, right, the Tomahawk. I was there with my friends, and I went to the bar to get a drink. I didn't have any money, so someone bought me a Heineken, but I don't drink beer. I don't drink piss. So I turn around, and I'm in his light, and I was like, I didn't realize I was in his light. He was trying to get on stage. That, God forbid, I be in your light, huh? Floated together like angels on the floor. I know it was really dramatic when I was talking about it before. When I made you a painting, I gave it to someone else, and I thought it was you. Yeah, apparently you have like twins everywhere. And I'm like one of them, right? Because there's that woman on, okay, thought trains. Because my mind is a bunch of like little gerbils or squirrels or hamsters that spin on those wheels, and then the wheels go in circles, and then you run on the circles, and then some of them fall off, and then it's just like a train station. Round them all back up. So it's different on here than it is on Instagram. It's more pleasant. Mainly because I feel like the people that are hunting me down on Instagram are like people that are already following me on there for his like friends and family. Friends and family, my ex's friends and family. Or people that he paid to fuck with me. Which is like all of you, apparently. Or you just decided to do it of your own accord. Floated together like angels on the floor and then didn't say a word. And then I was like, that looks like a whiskey sour. I want it. And then we said nothing. Exchanged beverages. And then he's like, see you on the flip side. But then he went up on stage and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, just give me a drink. Just give me a drink. Just got me a drink. I have his drink. He had my drink. I have his drink and he's on stage now. And then I left trying to... Boyfriend at home. I was like, I was going to go home with you. I feel like you're my twin flame, though, or my spirit animal. Something like Do you know that you are avataring things that are happening in real life right now in this? Okay, so not only did Mr. Patton just make a song with Jenny called Look at Me. It's her song that he was on. That I've been sitting here playing things out loud. And one of the things that I've been playing out loud just to fuck with the surveillance that's listening to me. Just weird things that I play. One of them was the clip from Salem's Lot, where the guy walks in the door with the cross, and then the other guy's sitting in the chair, and he's like, look at me, teacher. And then he like jumps out the fucking window. Okay, so then all of a sudden, you make this fucking song called Look at Me, and it's like, look at me, and it's look at me here, and I did that before you guys did that fucking song. I don't know how long you've been writing it, though. Ever. My son, when he was in foster care, and they had his hair in little girl pigtails, kind of like you have your hair now, actually. Not in the big ones everywhere, but they were like in pigtails, like the braids, like not even cornrows. They were just like the pigtails here, and then pigtails. He was with this girl named Jenny that was wearing all these like crazy shirts that said like blessed mama and mama of the year and boy mom, and like I told the caseworker like it's really insensitive that she's wearing these mama shirts because I'm at a school meeting where I'm trying to like talk about my son's future and telling them not to dress him like a little girl and that he's been through a lot of trauma and we're like torture victims and shit. And then there's like stuff on the clipboard that's his like thing from school that says things on it that is just like triggering. And meanwhile, the principal's there like a secretary just typing everything up that I say, just trying to be so helpful. Anyway, looks like Vance. Shave your beard, Vance. You look dirty. No, it's too rough of a look. Try like a shaped goatee. You're not allowed to have goatees in the presidential cabinet. The vice presidential cabinet. Anyway, he looked like Vance. He wasn't him though. But so I had that interaction with Mike like years ago, right? But then I felt like every time I've lived somewhere, you've lived very close to me in some kind of proximity. That this Jenny was wearing all these shirts, all these shirts, all these shirts. Coincidentally enough, that was doing the song with you wasn't wearing a shirt though. She's fine, she's topless, whatever. She's French, so like they can be topless. It really doesn't matter. It's just boobs, right? I'm not gonna show you mine, but like, what is the like coincidental rate that would equate how this makes sense? That it's like Mike and Jenny, but do you know that they just found a body in a dumpster in Fresno of a girl named Jenny, and a guy named Mike killed her. But weirdly enough, the Jenny that it is this older woman who looks a lot like this broad Angela that was a homeless woman that I allowed to stay at my house because she was old and she was on the streets and I felt bad, and she was at the wellness center that I had to go to when we had to do this mental health shit for my son. He's been back for 6 months, by the way. For 2 years. I was sober. All my tests were sober. I did all the psychological shit. I fought like fuck to get him back for both of the times that he was gone for 2 years. So he was gone from me for 4 years at a time. So then, you know, of course, I see this gentleman named Martin. I didn't know his name was Martin until I asked him, Martin, and then he shook my hand. But then it's like after I shook his hand, I feel like there's just been all this like Mike energy coming in from him. So his hair looked the same, except he looked smaller than you look there. But like, then he was there another time, and then doing the trash or whatever. Like, I guess he's just a fill-in or something like that. But I know that there's been people that look like other people because the woman that died in the dumpster looked a lot like the homeless woman that I brought here that ended up stealing money from me. And then I just severed our friendship completely, and I still had to see her at the wellness center also, by the way. So it's just like there's all these like alignments of like somebody just need to like the falling frogs from Magnolia kind of thing. But then it's also like I'm a mirror here. My mind oracle is that I'm a mirror. I'm a white resonant mirror. I reflect endlessly. But see, the thing is that there's been other people pretending to be me. And so those other people pretending to be me are reflecting like some kind of reality back that's skewed. That's like a funhouse mirror, but it's not fun at all. And I'm going through all of my like lives and all the things that I know if the government's going through all my stuff, it's a lot of shit to go through. All my lives on here, my stuff on Instagram, all my content, my photos, my videos, the stuff that I put up prior, the like conspiracy theory stuff. I have several members of my conspiracy theory group that are dead now. Boogeyman is dead. He lives forever. Yeah, on the Omanamamana, whatever that was, the asteroid that came through the Big O. So all the crackheads go to the Big O. It's okay though. He's rounding up informations from space for me. Because where they are, it is like a spaceship, but where we are, it is a asteroid. Yeah, don't go drinking the punch. Don't do that because I don't think you'll end up on there, honestly. I think you have to like be summoned there or something. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not going there. Then there was like the years that I was talking about Atlas and Atlas and Atlas, and I named an officer in Reedley Atlas just because I felt like he's been involved for so long and so many of the things that are going on. Back to 2020. You know, it's 2026 now. Listening back 7 years ago to the stuff that I had put on here, the person that I am now, I'm not broken. I felt like I was going to be fucking ruined. I felt like I was going to be ruined forever. And every day I feel like my life is ruined. But somehow it's made me better. But see, I'm like a feeder fish, like the rest of you. Through all of this, I grew. I need a bigger tank to get into. So like I was saying before, I should just make fun of John Lon. Are you mad? Has the FBI just been up your ass about the fact that you're somebody else? The first thing you should have done was like damage control to make sure that if you're going to sit up pretending to be the king of earth, like the richest motherfucker ever, that you went back and you made sure that like your family and your prior friends at least knew what the shit you were up to. Every time I see a Tesla, I just flip it off. Just out of reflex now. I don't care if the people in the car notice. I drove by a guy's house today that has a Cybertruck in front of it. I was like, oh, it's an origami swan. Fuck you, Elon. I mean, John. It's not funny. Don't. He's either red and he's crying, breathing into a paper bag, or he's sitting there all smug like this. Just notice that the photos, that the Getty photos take is different than the pictures that you put out. By the way, I also had a run-in with the Getty, but I did talk about that on my Instagram live. I'm sorry, Mr. Getty. And was it Bush Street that he lived on? Down the street from Jackal. I was down there with this guy. I was an acquaintance of mine named Joel. Not the Joel that talked to rocks, but another Joel. And we were charging our phones on the street. And then all of a sudden, this tall, blonde gentleman comes down the stairs and was like, you want to come up and hang out? And so then we did. And so we were up in his apartment hanging out. It was the most amazing place because it was like a little miniature, like, museum. But it was like a miniature, like, mansion. Like, it was just one room. But then they had all these, like, relics and things in there. And then he's like, if you can guess the most expensive thing in my apartment, you can keep it. And I was like, I'm going to make you a painting. He's like, I'm a Getty. I don't need a painting from you. My family owns a Getty museum. Meanwhile, he had a whole stack of hundreds on the table. And I was like, you know what I wanted at the time? It was a Tashara. I didn't have any. I didn't have any fucking money. I didn't take any of your money either. I was sitting there. And so he's like, if you can guess the most expensive thing in my apartment, you can keep it. And I was like looking around. I was like, it's this little table over here that was like an elephant foot or whatever. Well, the next thing I knew, the door was wide open and the guy that I was there with was gone. And so I fucking got up and I took off. And I'm so sorry he took your stamp book collection. Was it expensive? Was there a lot of stamps in there that cost a lot of money? Did your family like cast you away like some bum? Were you just in San Francisco because you were some bum? No. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I know your paintings. Meanwhile, I did notice on Instagram the girl that they have singing karaoke as Cartman singing the Jolene song. Some are the competitors. Okay. I might be big boned, but I'm kind of from another dimension where I'm supposed to be durable. You will not break me. I guess this is why you people think I'm some kind of character archetype that you guys try to act like, and that's why it seems like I might be an actor to you. I'm not, though. I did it in high school, yeah, but I don't want to do it for like a living. I want to just exist and be happy, and I'm not at all. I'm still suffering in the same place that I was in when my ex like embezzled all this fucking money from the people that were doing work on the house, and then he got all a bunch of people riled up in a bunch of groups telling them a bunch of sideways ass shit about me. Don't you think that I do know that your ex that was working at the hospital when I was giving birth to your son had me stabbed in the spine 6 times with an epidural just to try and paralyze me. There wasn't even any medication in there. You're not supposed to give someone a spinal tap while they're heaving over on the bed mid-contraction. Okay, and I wasn't supposed to have a C-section either. It was just going to be natural, but then they're like, he's not coming through, and then they're like, we might have to do an emergency C-section, you need this, and then there wasn't any medication in there, so I guess I was just supposed to lay all up in the bed like Kill Bill. We took everything that was mine and my family's. I just want to go back to something a little birdie told me. What is that? That white thing that just flew by? It's ancient aliens. No, I don't know. It's some bat or some shit like that. Flying around in the light by the barn. Why are all the ancient aliens people gone and dying? What happened to them? Is the government killing them for talking about stuff? Or did they just like die because they're old? Nobody knows, right? Oh, this is the tablet, the phone. I don't know. It has a totally different camera. So I sometimes feel like I look like shit on there. This isn't that bad. For 48, it's not that bad, right? Right, the message is for Jessica. Sarah wants you to know that she knows and that I know that you killed her. Well, they said that she killed herself with an overdose. However, she told me that when you guys used to live together, that he would come over and you guys would like do stuff in the hot tub in front of her just to make jokes, like you bounce around his lap and or something like that, and that you were tired of her being in the way when he came over to visit, that you made sure that she was asleep. Okay, well, just so you know, Jessica, Sarah's waiting for you in the next place. So good luck, and stop fucking with me, and keep my name out of your fucking mouth. Besides the fact that we both have an ex that we share that was a psychopath, maybe you should talk to some of your kids about that. I realize that a lot of the things that I say can't be used as evidence for anything because it would take so long for them to like backtrack and fact check, and like I felt like this channel of energy has been coming through like the nail salon people where they're like, it's $1,000 and it's $2,000. It's like, this is my business, this is your business. Business will handle our business. But then it's like, some of my business is your fucking business. Because for someone to go and like spread a bunch of rumors, and I know that at some point they're gonna be like, I'm spreading a bunch of rumors, but I'm like actually talking about shit that happened to me. And my son kidnapped twice by this freak show, dressed like a little girl, mishandled in so many ways that like I just want to be over it now. Like I'm picking up the pieces again and attempting to make everything like new here again. But it's like a waste of time. I feel like it's a waste of time and money. And then of course I'm like, on a tour, waste of your time and money tour. And it's just like, are you fucking torturing me for? Because let me tell you, if you were Devil's Mark on Bigo, you're a dead man. Bug just tried to go in my fucking ear. Oh, the last interaction I had with Devil's Mark, who was on there looking like some bug-eyed, toothless, crazy biker with fake tattoos all over his fucking face and arms, sitting there pretending to be a one percenter. Do you know, I put an ad on Craigslist. I was like, one percenter in rare condition. It was in the free section. And I was like, worth millions to studio execs. Handle with care. You know, anybody go hunt you down, did they? Just saying, the last thing you said to me on public chat was, nobody gives a fuck about you, your fucked up life, or your kid, or fucked up shit. It's like, dude, because I knew that whoever it was involved with shit that was going on. I'm trying to tell you, there's some crazy ass shit that's happening. People are dead. People's kids are dead. Have been kidnapped. There's all kinds of money that's been embezzled. There's people that have been fucked with in like the thousands. And those of you people that are involved, that are in the music or movie industry or like law enforcement agencies, have helped some of these people do this shit. And then you're just like, no, it's not our prob, not our job. We don't want to be involved. And then you just like turn the other fucking way. Meanwhile, there are still people suffering because of this. I'm like, you know, yeah, a lot of people didn't get their kids back. I got my son back. I got him back twice, and it was really hard to fucking do. Too hard, by the way. I don't want to go on about how things need to be like restructured and reformatted. I've gone on and on about it, but then I've also talked about all these things and ideas that I'm trying to like conceptualize and like put to fruit. And like I'm not able to do that when I have so many things going on, including investigations that are attempting to trap me into some kind of like patsy where I'm going to be thrown under the bus for shit that you fucking did. And then the people that you involve trying to come after me, you have shit on them too, trying to make it seem like they did shit that you did. Or shit that happened that they didn't even know. And then people are dead, and then people are moved around, and people are in jail, and then nobody knows how to access the truth. And then the people that were doing this weren't involved with these people over here, and the people that have this name over here. And it seems like those things align, but then nobody knows because none of the people that know any of the things are talking in a circle. They're just like ignoring me, and then they're like, "Oh, she just wants attention. Ignore her." Or then why was the sheriff running with Snoop Dogg? It wasn't Snoop Dogg though. It was Snoop's dog. Snoop Dogg's dog. The dog that Snoop Dogg turns into. I sit across from the coroner's office sometimes to watch the sheriff, but then I didn't realize that you moved to another building. And then of course I had to have the visitation pickups and drop offs at that building. And then there was the one day that I didn't want to let my son go with the other woman that was supposed to be picking him up because she had some strange man in her car. You know, and I'm like, I didn't even know if it's like court, it had to be like court ordered for certain people to like be around him and stuff. But she's like, oh, it's my fiance. I was like, well, where's your ring then? You know, and it's like, I'm not going to let my son just leave with this guy in the car. And she's like, where's my fiance? And I was like, but I had to give him back because it was like my time was up. But then there was the time that I almost got arrested by Visalia PD because they thought that I had him like illegally for like I showed up like 2 hours after the time I was supposed to drop him off if we were doing the regular drop off. But I had court that day and they gave me an extra 2 hours, but it wasn't even on paper. It wasn't something that the judge handed me, so I had no way to prove it for the exception of just like telling them verbally. And then I don't know who they talked to at the agency, but then I had to show up there thinking that I'm going to be arrested for kidnapping my own son. And meanwhile I didn't even do that. Because you people all just need to have some sort of record that allows you the access to be able to reference the things that are like supposed to be happening in court. And then me not having a paper that proves these things, like it makes it impossible to do. But the day, and all of a sudden the sheriff's running by in these little running shorts and he's got this fucking dog with him and it looks like the dog that's like Snoop Dogg's dog. He has me blocked on Instagram. He has me blocked on TikTok too. I just feel like all you people are doing are just stealing like my ideas and then leaving me like some fucking like genie in a bottle, some jar on a fucking shelf where you're just taking everything that I'm giving you as inspiration and just stealing it and making money off of it and just like however they're listening to me, I'm still being tracked in the car that I'm driving. They're still following us around. People are still showing up at places that we go that look like him, that look like his siblings, that like have shirts that say certain things or whatever, and it's just like it's borderline like gang stalking, and then it is kind of like gang stalking, but then like I figured that out too. But then of course if you have control over like the things that like I'm able to eat, and then of course there's only certain places that I can go eat, because now there's women that you told that I was like fucking with their exes and their men, and then they're coming after me and my son, and then I don't know who's like trying to poison us or whatever the fuck. There's been a bunch of shit happening, like the weight gainer that was put in the creamer at Dollar General, and then all of a sudden all the Dollar General like fridges were turned off, and they're like, oh, the creamer's bad, just because I wasn't eating anything at the time, but just drinking coffee, and it wasn't that much coffee and that much creamer that it would like pack on pounds the way that it was. But then, of course, if you thought that I was just fat and unhappy, that I would just be ruined, right? That I would just give up and lay down and die. I don't do that. I have laid down and cried for a long time. I'm over it now. I do look a little angry bird, so I am an angry fucking bird right now. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, regardless of what the fuck you people are doing. If there are investigations going on, and I know that they are, I would rather the shit just come through. Because there are so many things that are going on online and public around me where people are following us and they are making fun of us. And like, we don't deserve that. I don't fucking deserve that. I don't deserve to be put on display in the way that you people have put me on display. That I'm like, started just being vulnerable here by sharing parts of like my life here, the things that I was going through, the things that I was discovering that were like amazing things that were like just me changing my life into this like positive direction, and then my whole life gets ripped away from me. My son gets kidnapped twice. I hunted fucking dog was murdered. Like, people stole shit from me in my house, and like, and then now they're just it's like that point in in like the serial killer movies, or like the where they've been after them and it seems safe when there's nothing happening. There's nothing going on. It's just you. It's not just me. I have several years of documented, like, this is what happened, this is how it happened, and anybody that's been listening to me for any extended period of time would hear the things that I have said that they do align. Morrison's cup. Stitch. I did notice on Bigo, the girl's like, it's Stitch Day, it's my birthday. And it's like, my birthday is 6/25, this is the day before Stitch Day. It's actually the Antichrist birthday. It's halfway to Christmas. But I just started noticing that sometimes if I look at the clock and it's my birthday time, it's like the message that I get at that point in time is like a gift. It's like the same way that people look at angel numbers and things. I did figure out some kind of math the other day. It was like how counting works, but it's not just like 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. But it's like if you go to 9, then if 9 dives back down to 0 but takes the 1 through and it puts it through, and then it's 10. But then you get to 19, and then you add 1, and then you put it down there, and then it becomes 20. And then you take it back down, and then you take it back down to the 1. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like, it was some sort of thing that I went through with my Gemini AI that then I was trying to align with the way that that works. It was just like noticing just the formula and the way that numbers are arranged and the way that they work was just like where my brain was at that moment. And so it's really hard for me, just being someone that thinks like non-linearly, that I have been developing a mind hack workshop that does disconnect my mind from the conscious reality that I exist in for like the last 20 something years that I've been doing this, and puts it in this subconscious state where I can like go between them, and it's like I'm walking around in like a waking dream all the time, like I'm just unconscious now. But it's also given me the ability to like tap into the abstract of everything and the conscious like ethernet, that's like the ethernet cable. You take the internet, you plug it into the ethernet cable, but the ether is also around us all the time, and it's just like the channeled energy that I get into, that's like a river connecting to all of you. What are my original screen names with the Empress of Sticks? Fire, you gotta rub some sticks together. Negative is one stick, positive is two sticks together. Three sticks makes fire, I guess, if you rub them together enough. A lot of things I've gone through, and there's a lot of things that I understand that I say that's above all of your pay grades. However, I've been like attempting to get the people that are supposed to be in control to understand that there's something really wrong going on right now that's actively involved a small community, several other communities around it, and then a bunch of like actors and law enforcement and possibly like politicians, that is going to be like a really big fucking deal. And I understand there's not enough black tape that exists to cover this up. Like the Epstein files even connects to Dinuba, which is a town like where they had some sort of incident with the someone bought a car or some shit like that. But it happened during the same timeline that all this embezzlement and shit was going on with me. And then of course going back to my like adoption here and my connection to former president like Grant. And then of course the other day when I go to the store, there's a guy there. I went to the ATM. The guy in front of him was wearing a General Grant tree shirt. And then when I had went to Apocalypse Corner to get my Dejarums, not only did like the Armageddon song come on from Def Leppard, and it's Willis and Marine, like Willis is like, Bruce Willis is dead by the way, but he was in like the Apocalypse movies, and of course the Armageddon song comes on. I know it's very mind control to be able to control the things that are played on XM radio, knowing that I listen to certain things on XM radio. You possibly could have put certain things on there, maybe it just happened, but then also this Grant's like air conditioning truck like drove by. But then again, the woman that I picked up that was homeless on the street, one of her spots that she stayed when I was like helping her find cardboard to make her place there, and it was raining, and so I went and got her and brought her here to my house. So I brought her here because it was raining. I didn't want her to stay out in the fucking rain. That's before she stole my money. But she looked a lot like my birth mom, whose like maiden name is Grant, and the street that veered right off of where that woman was staying was Grant. So and I just know that there's so many things that are like aligning, that seem coincidental, that seem synchronistic, but are they? Or is somebody like trying to contrive things to make me go insane? And it's like, I know that that's been happening too. There are like many times where it's like, don't send someone around me that looks like this or looks like that, because I might try and attack. I really don't want to. That's why I stopped carrying machetes with me everywhere that I go. I do have them in the car, but I'm not going to carry them on my body anymore, just because like I don't want to be triggered to attack somebody that I think might be somebody that like raped my son or other children. Like the version of Miranda that was here that was pretending to be like my ex, that was wearing all black, trying to drive, make it look like from far away that it was us with him in the car. And then she had her mouth like this, like over her teeth, so it made her lips look small. And then she had on like those like glasses that's like the flies or whatever. I don't know, you get them at the car wash. Today I had a delivery of some rugs for my son's room that I'm making new again because everything's ripped up from before, that I'm putting it back together again. that the girl that did the delivery for Walmart showed up, didn't look me in the eye, didn't say a word. I asked her several things. Is this the only box? Is there another one? Thank you, whatever. Didn't say anything to anything that I said. Wouldn't look me in the fucking eye. And then she was doing this with her mouth. So I know that I was just talking about that on Instagram the other night. So if that means that you're still watching me and listening to me and still sending people around me to fuck with me, like, I know all your dirt because I know it. I don't have anybody telling me. I don't have ears on you. I don't have eyes on you. I'm not monitoring you the way that you are me, the way that you are these other people that you'll call them and be like, oh, you blah, 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 this. And they're like, I was just talking about that. And they're like, oh, we're so connected. Mm-hmm. Gambling, right? Nobody really gives a fuck. Like I said, this is actually for the law enforcement people that are monitoring me. And if you're not, you guys are like several days late and dollars short. Maybe the dollars that are in my hand. The stars and the stripes might as well be dollars and coins. But then again, the stripes might as well be streaks of blood raining upon this pure land. Stars shine bright in the night sky, watching and doing nothing. Just like you are now. So I just want to get on with my life and like be happy, and I've never really been. And to have any of the people come through that have been trying to connect with me is really all I want to do. And trying to continue to like set up my family for like lawsuits that don't exist, that are lies, like the stuff that's been set up already, or people trying to say that they worked for them that they didn't. There's no W-2s or 4s or things like that, that like, I don't know what kind of shit you're trying to pull on that end, but I know that mixing things around at the lawyer where the deeds for the ranches are getting divvied out differently. I talked about it on my Instagram. I'm not going to repeat the same things there that I hear that I did there. I'm just trying to like rally up another audience or fuel like a different channel of energy, which I have. And that's it. I'm fucking done. How do I stop this?